What if I told you that while you were sleeping last night, your body could have been burning the belly fat you've been trying to get rid of for months? This is not a myth. This is not marketing. This is science. And most women never found out about this, and because nobody ever explained it properly. You wake up early, you push yourself, you cut what you eat, you work out, and the belly is still there. That's not a lack of willpower. That's a lack of the right information. Because while you were focused on exercise and diet, your sleep was either sabotaging everything you worked for, or it could have been doing all the fat-burning work for you, every single night. In this video, you will discover the real science behind belly fat and sleep. You will learn what happens inside your body during those 7 or 8 hours, which hormones are responsible for storing or burning fat around your belly, and exactly what you can start doing tonight to activate your body's natural fat-burning system while you rest. No gym, no crazy diet, no supplements. Just pure science, explained simply. Stay until the end, because the last section is the most important one. And if this kind of content is what you've been looking for, subscribe to Her Reset right now. Every video on this channel is a piece of information your body has been waiting for. Before we talk about burning belly fat, we need to understand what belly fat actually is, because not all fat is the same, and this is something most people never learn. There are 2 types of fat in your belly area. The first is called subcutaneous fat. This is the soft fat you can pinch with your fingers just under the skin. The second, and far more important, is called visceral fat. This is the fat that wraps around your internal organs, deep inside your abdomen. Visceral fat is not just an aesthetic problem, it is a health problem. It produces inflammatory chemicals, disrupts your hormones, and increases your risk of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and even certain types of cancer. And here is the part most people don't know. Visceral fat is actually more responsive to lifestyle changes than subcutaneous fat. That means it can be reduced, and sleep is one of the most powerful tools to do it. So why does belly fat accumulate in the first place? The answer comes down to 3 main factors: hormones, inflammation, and cortisol. And all 3 of them are directly controlled by how well you sleep. When you don't sleep enough, or when your sleep quality is poor, your body produces more cortisol. Cortisol is your stress hormone, and one of its main jobs, when chronically elevated, is to store fat, specifically in your belly. This is not a coincidence. This is biology. Your body stores energy near your vital organs when it feels threatened, and poor sleep signals threat. At the same time, sleep deprivation increases a hunger hormone called ghrelin and decreases a satiety hormone called leptin. That means the next day you feel hungrier, you crave more sugar and fat, and you feel less full when you eat. The cycle feeds itself. Bad sleep leads to more eating, which leads to more fat, which leads to worse sleep. But here's the good news. This cycle works both ways. Improve your sleep, even slightly, and you start to reverse all of this. Your cortisol drops, your hunger hormones rebalance, and your body shifts from fat-storing mode to fat-burning mode. While you sleep. Now let's go deeper. What actually happens in your body during sleep that burns fat? When you fall asleep, your body goes through different stages. You've probably heard of REM sleep, the stage where you dream. But the stage that matters most for fat burning is called deep sleep, also known as slow-wave sleep. This is where the magic happens. During deep sleep, your pituitary gland, a tiny structure at the base of your brain, releases a surge of human growth hormone, or HGH. This hormone does several things. It repairs muscle tissue, it regenerates cells, and critically, it stimulates lipolysis, the breakdown of fat cells to use as fuel. In other words, your body literally burns fat for energy while you are in deep sleep. And the more quality deep sleep you get, the more HGH is released, and the more fat is metabolized. But there's a catch. Deep sleep is the most fragile stage of sleep. It's the first one disrupted by stress, alcohol, late-night eating, blue light exposure, and irregular sleep schedules, which means most women are not getting nearly enough of it, and therefore not getting nearly enough of this overnight fat-burning effect. Here's another key player: insulin. During sleep, your insulin levels drop to their lowest point of the day. Low insulin is a signal to your body that it can access fat stores for energy. When insulin is high, which happens when you eat late at night, especially carbohydrates or sugar, your body is in fat storing mode, not fat burning mode. And then there's your metabolism. Many people believe metabolism slows down during sleep. This is a myth. Your basal metabolic rate remains quite active during sleep. Your heart is beating, your brain is processing, your cells are repairing. A woman sleeping 8 hours can burn anywhere from 300 to 500 calories during the night, depending on her weight and sleep quality. The difference is whether those calories come from fat or from sugar, and that depends almost entirely on what you ate before bed and how deeply you sleep. Let's talk about hormones in more detail, because this is the key that unlocks everything. Cortisol. We've already mentioned this one. In small amounts at the right time, cortisol is healthy and useful. But chronically high cortisol, caused by poor sleep, chronic stress, or irregular schedules, tells your body to hold on to fat, specifically belly fat. Studies show that women with chronically elevated cortisol have significantly more visceral fat, regardless of their diet or exercise habits. Leptin is your satiety hormone. It's produced by your fat cells and tells your brain that you've eaten enough. When you don't sleep enough, leptin levels drop. Your brain stops receiving the signal that you're full. You eat more. You gain more fat. Ghrelin is the opposite of leptin. It's your hunger hormone. Sleep deprivation raises ghrelin levels significantly. Studies have shown that people who sleep only 5 hours per night have ghrelin levels up to 15% higher than those who sleep 8 hours. That explains why you feel ravenous after a bad night of sleep and reach for sugar, carbs, and processed food. Estrogen and progesterone also play a huge role, especially for women. These hormones fluctuate throughout the menstrual cycle and during perimenopause and menopause. When estrogen levels decline, fat tends to redistribute toward the belly. Poor sleep accelerates this hormonal disruption, which is why sleep quality becomes even more critical for women as they get older. And finally, insulin sensitivity. When you are sleep deprived, your cells become less sensitive to insulin. This is called insulin resistance, and it is one of the primary drivers of belly fat accumulation. Your body produces more insulin to do the same job, and excess insulin promotes fat storage. Getting enough deep sleep improves insulin sensitivity, meaning your body handles carbohydrates more efficiently and stores less of them as fat. Now you understand why sleep is so powerful. Let's talk about what you can actually do, starting tonight. The first and most important thing is to stop eating at least 2 to 3 hours before bed. When you eat close to bedtime, especially carbohydrates or sugars, your insulin spikes and your body enters fat storing mode. Cutting off food 2 to 3 hours before bed allows insulin to drop before you fall asleep, so your body can access fat stores from the very beginning of the night. If you need a small snack close to bedtime, choose something that doesn't spike insulin. A small amount of protein, like a handful of nuts, a boiled egg, or a small portion of Greek yogurt, can actually support overnight muscle repair and fat metabolism without disrupting your hormones. The second thing is to lower your cortisol before sleep. Some simple practices that dramatically reduce cortisol in the evening: a 10-minute walk after dinner, light stretching or yoga, deep breathing exercises, a warm shower or bath, and reducing exposure to stressful news or social media at least 1 hour before bed. These are not just relaxation techniques, they are hormonal interventions. Third, protect your deep sleep. Deep sleep is most disrupted by alcohol, large meals, and blue light. Alcohol might make you feel sleepy, but it suppresses deep sleep significantly. 1 glass of wine close to bedtime can reduce your deep sleep by up to 25%. Blue light from phones and screens suppresses melatonin and delays the onset of deep sleep. Use night mode, blue light glasses, or simply put your phone away an hour before bed. Fourth, keep your sleep schedule consistent. Your body has an internal clock, the circadian rhythm. When you go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, your body learns to release the right hormones at the right time. Irregular sleep schedules disrupt this rhythm, and reduce the quality of deep sleep significantly. Fifth, keep your room cool and dark. Research shows that sleeping in a slightly cooler room, around 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit, or 18 to 20 degrees Celsius, promotes deeper sleep and increases HGH release. Darkness is also critical. Even small amounts of light can suppress melatonin and reduce sleep quality. What you eat during the day, not just before bed, has a major impact on how much fat your body burns at night. Protein is your best friend for overnight fat burning. When you eat enough protein throughout the day, your body has the building blocks it needs for muscle repair during sleep. More muscle mass means a higher resting metabolic rate, which means more calories burned overnight. Aim for a palm-sized portion of protein at every meal: chicken, fish, eggs, legumes, Greek yogurt, or cottage cheese. Magnesium-rich foods support deep sleep directly. Magnesium activates the parasympathetic nervous system and is required for the production of melatonin. Most women are deficient in magnesium. Foods high in magnesium include dark leafy greens like spinach and kale, pumpkin seeds, almonds, dark chocolate in small amounts, and avocado. Tryptophan is an amino acid that your body converts into serotonin and then into melatonin. Foods rich in tryptophan include turkey, eggs, cheese, nuts, and seeds. Having a tryptophan-rich food as part of your dinner can support natural melatonin production without supplements. Avoid ultra-processed foods, refined carbohydrates, and added sugar in the evening. These foods spike insulin, trigger inflammation, and disrupt sleep architecture. And stay hydrated throughout the day. Even mild dehydration increases cortisol. But avoid drinking large amounts of water right before bed, as waking up disrupts your sleep cycles. You don't need to exercise more to burn more fat overnight. But when you exercise matters. Morning exercise, especially fasted cardio or strength training, can elevate your metabolism and improve insulin sensitivity for the entire day. This means your body handles food better, and your cortisol is managed through physical activity rather than being stored as belly fat. Evening exercise is more nuanced. Light to moderate exercise in the evening, like a walk, yoga, or gentle strength training, can lower cortisol and improve sleep quality. However, intense exercise within 2 hours of bedtime can raise cortisol and adrenaline, delay melatonin release, and disrupt the onset of deep sleep. Strength training in particular is powerful for overnight fat burning because it increases muscle mass, and muscle tissue burns calories even at rest, including during sleep. 2 to 3 strength training sessions per week, done with body weight or minimal equipment, is enough to significantly increase your overnight metabolic rate. The specific exercises that work best for women who train at home, and when to do them for maximum fat-burning effect overnight, will be covered in detail in our next video. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Now let's put everything together. This is the Her Reset 7-Night Protocol. 7 simple changes, 1 for each night, that activate your body's overnight fat-burning system. Night 1. Set a consistent bedtime and wake time. Pick a time you can stick to every single day, even on weekends. Night 2. Cut food 2 to 3 hours before bed. Not a diet, not calorie counting, just move dinner earlier. Night 3. Add a 10-minute evening walk after dinner. This lowers cortisol and improves insulin sensitivity before sleep. Night 4. Put your phone away 1 hour before bed. Use that hour for reading, stretching, or simply breathing. Night 5. Make your room cooler and darker. Close the blinds, lower the thermostat, remove any light sources. Night 6. Add a magnesium-rich food to your dinner, a handful of pumpkin seeds, some spinach, or a small square of dark chocolate. Night 7. Do a 5-minute deep breathing exercise before sleep. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 6. Repeat 10 times. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system and drops cortisol before you fall asleep. Do all 7 consistently for 4 weeks and you will notice a measurable difference, not just in your belly but in your energy levels, your mood, your hunger, and your overall relationship with your body. And that is the complete science of burning belly fat while you sleep. You now know what most women spend years trying to figure out. You know about cortisol, about deep sleep and HGH, about leptin and ghrelin, about insulin timing, and about the simple habits that activate your body's overnight fat-burning system. This is not about being perfect, it's about being informed. Because when you know how your body actually works, every small decision you make becomes more powerful. If this video helped you, share it with a woman who needs to hear this. And if you want to keep learning the science behind your body in a way that's simple, practical, and real, subscribe to Her Reset right now. We post new content every week, and every single video is designed to give you what you deserve, the truth about your body. I'll see you in the next one.